Welcome to Ticket to Life. This is Henry, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. You can hear Ticket to Life on TuneIn Radio, just about any podcast platform, and in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, on 99.1 FM Radio WDJY every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern on your drive to work or taking the kiddos to school. Although be cautious what the topic might be that day. You never know with me. I can talk about anything. So here's my disclaimer: I am not a love guru or a doctor, a therapist, a life coach. I am Henry, and these are my thoughts and opinions. So, saying all that, were you patient with that intro or with all that I had to start off with? So, were you thinking, is this woman going to stop promoting or get on with the show? If you did get a little impatient, then this podcast is one you might enjoy. Um, it's about patience. And yes, patience. So, I want to thank you for being patient with me. It if it is hard for some of us to be patient, I can imagine. Because I think I'm pretty patient, but I don't know. I can imagine for some it must be hard to be patient with small children, right? Or children. They don't know patience yet. They haven't mastered the art of patience yet. And then we lose our patience when they lose theirs. It's a vicious cycle, right? All good things come to those who wait. Means that if you're patient, we persevere, eventually good things will come our way. And it's saying that if we encourage other people not to rush and believe in that positive outcome, some good things can happen, right? At the right time. But the whole thing is being patient. Now, I got this idea of this podcast from Westside Family Church a couple of weeks ago. One of their services was on patience. And I thought, you know what? We all need to talk about patience. Um, so, how many of us have heard that saying, all good things come to those who wait? I mean, I have many times, and I probably have even said it to some. And maybe we try harder for ourselves in waiting for good things and feel as though they are never coming and go back to our old ways of rolling our eyes and sighing and trying not to be patient. It just, how many of us have done that? How many eye rolls have I done in my life? How many heavy sighs have I made? Now, I know I am guilty of this, and I consider myself pretty patient, like I said, but I have to admit that I have read many books to help me through life. When something wasn't going the right way, I thought I should pick up a book, go find a book and read a self help book, right? So in the 80s, it was Hello, I'm God and I'm here to help you by Miriam Cameron. And yes, I still have the book. It's a paperback and it has seen better days. And yes, I'm pretty sure I read it more than once. And then okay, then there's the all I just love this book, and every so often I'll go back and reference in this book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Now, if any of you have heard of The Guidepost, that's he and his wife started that, but he has passed. I don't know about her, but and man, these two books, they really helped me through my young adult life. The crazy thing was that I didn't have to read books to get through life's trials and tribulations. And in the and now that I'm in my 60s, I realize all I had to do was pray. Go figure. No book was necessary to pray. I just needed to pray. And I was and am thankful for those books because they did get me through some crazy times in my life. Sometimes I think we overthink everything or some things. I have friends and family that do this, and I will tell them, I think you're overthinking this situation. And they kind of look at me and then they say, yeah, you're right. But they probably just say that to be nice. I don't think it's going to stop them from overthinking, but hopefully it does. How many times are you planning to do something and you get impatient and start thinking about the what ifs? If I plan this, what if it doesn't go right? What if people don't come? What if they don't get me? Well, those what ifs cannot control your life. We have to live in the now, as I like to say. Patience is being able to not roll your eyes or give a heavy sigh. I know we all want things done in seconds because of the world we live in now, but do things really have to be done that minute? The minute you think about it, oh, I've got to do this. No, it actually can wait and take a deep breath and and not get frustrated or angry because you forgot to do it or you feel like you have to do something immediately. Or even get angry because guess what? It will happen or it will get done. And if it doesn't get done, the world will continue to spin and we will still be here. Now, if you're like me, I have to write things down or I will forget to do them. Or, of course, I ask Siri to add a reminder. Thank goodness for Siri. Um, but I get it. Sometimes it's just like we just have to get things done right there. And then my mom used to say when my kids were little, Mija, term of endearment meaning daughter, Mija, you don't need to clean the whole house. Not every day. This dust is going to be here tomorrow. And she was right. She was right. So I don't. I mean, yes, my house is clean, but I don't clean every day. I used to be, I guess, a little OCD about, oh, got to do this, got to do that. I keep a tidy home and clean. And guess what? If I don't get something done today, it will get done tomorrow. So the art of being patient is ability to remain calm and understanding instead of us getting frustrated. And that can be challenging for many. I hate when someone is trying to show me how to do something. And because I'm not a quick learner, they just say, just let me do it. I'm trying to learn here. How many of you are guilty of saying, let me do it? I did it with my kids when they were little. I weren't doing something fast enough, so I would just do it. But I have gotten better. And I believe we get better as we age, or at least I hope so. Now, my son he had certain chores he had to do, and twice a week, he had to take the garbage. One of his chores was getting the garbage out. And as he got older, he would always do it. But of course, we wanted it done now. We wanted it done before the sun set. And he would always come back and say, I will get it done before midnight. And guess what? He did. It's just we would get frustrated. It's like, why isn't he taking the garbage? And he did. He did it on his own time. My son is pretty laid back, and both my kids are, and thank God for that. But yeah, he would get it done. And I guess we should have learned from him. Like, it will be done when it needs to be done. Now, if it's something that has to be done, yeah, definitely you need to do it. But yeah, that was pretty smart on his part. He would get his chores done. So I oops, excuse me. Hold on. Sorry, I got tangled up there. I guess I could edit that, but no, it is what it is. Um, I went to a good friend, informant friend, Google, and found out that being grateful is one of those things that can help us to be patient. There are other ways to help us to be patient, and they are practice acceptance. You know, like let someone show you their way when you think that your way is better and the right way at learning a certain task, or practice empathy. You know, a lot of people don't have empathy. They just don't. They don't even know what it means. So, practice empathy. I can see that. It's such as let's I know. Let's say you get cut off driving. you're driving to work or taking the kids and someone cuts you off. And instead of shouting out death threats, think of why they could be in such a hurry. Perhaps they're on their way to the hospital to say goodbye to a parent or a child or a friend, or they could be late for work and scared of losing their job. The reasons why they could be in a hurry. And that's where taking that deep breath comes in. Just don't close your eyes if you're driving. Take a deep breath with your eyes open. I do not want to cause any accidents. But being accepting for some of us takes a little bit longer to learn something. It does. And being accepting is one of those things. Learning to accept things, people's faults, people's the way they think. Like I think about when your child becomes a teenager and is of the age to drive. You want to teach them the right way. You don't want them to have anger issues. So they're always watching you when you drive, just to let you know. And remember, we were all afraid to start learning. We're excited, but we have to accept our kid. We have to put ourselves where our kids are when they're learning something new, especially if we're teaching them. Now, I know that we all get caught up with life and how fast it is. First, we fall in love. We find the man or woman of our dreams. We get married. We start a family. Baby is born. Baby is walking, talking, and then learning to drive and off to college. And it's just you two again. Patience is a part of life you have to have. We need to slow down and live in the now and enjoy our partner, enjoy our kids, and most of all, enjoy life. No, life is not easy, but we have to have hope. Why? Because that will help us slow down, just knowing everything will be okay and trusting in God and knowing He has your back. No, I'm not saying that this is going to be a bed of roses. No, we all have life trials and tribulations. By doing or having hope and trust or attempting to work on patience will save the world from all the chaos? No. But it may help our own personal life just by doing these little tweaks in our life. Time. Now, have you noticed how we always need to know the time? I am always needing to know the time. Why? I don't know. Now, it's different if you have an appointment, but you may not have a meeting or an appointment or a prior engagement or anything, but we always need to know the time. Now, this is not everyone, but I have seen where some people wear two watches, one on each wrist. Now, I noticed Father Mike Schmidt, the priest I like to listen to on his podcast and stuff, sometimes he wears two watches. I'm not sure why. I guess I should look that up, or if you know, please let me know because I'm not sure. You can email me. Trust me, explain it. Always knowing the time sometimes makes us rush and we get impatient with others and take things out on them. If you're guilty of that, raise your hand. And I am raising my hand. I literally am raising my hand. In James 5:7, it says, be patient, then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop and how patient he is for the autumn spring rains. You too be patient and stand firm. Now, that would mean the patience of a farmer is a gift. Could you imagine if you are not a farmer? Because I'm not, or many of those who are farmers, you think about it, they're just waiting for their food source. The source of food or their source of income. So, like the farmer, we must learn to be patient. And I never really thought about that. They really look at their crops every day, but they're being patient. So, like the farmer, we must learn to patience and just by slowing down, having hope and trusting in God. And remember that patience is a virtue and we must Wait calmly and endure the hard times. Do our best not to get upset and try to always find positive and negative. Before we come to a close, I have to share two or three things with you. Um, Impatience is part of it, but I need to share two books that are great, other than the two I mentioned earlier. And one of them was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Ortberg. And the other is The Joy Challenge by Randy Frazee. Um, these two books are really good, and I've just read them within I think the Joy Challenge was last year, and perhaps even the other was either last year or in 2023. These are great books if you're a reader, and I don't know, I'm sure you can get them on audio. I'm not sure, but like I said, they're really good books to help yourself to slow down and to find joy. Some of us have never felt joy, and people don't understand that. But people are not always around people who are joyful. And if you're not around joyful people, I can tell you it's not good. Yes, I still read self help books, but am really pretty sure my go to is always going to be prayer now. It's just easier because I forgot my book, or I don't have my book, or I didn't download the book. Prayer is just there. It's just there. You can do it anywhere. Um, so the next thing is a really 2025 has started off good. Last year was a little crazy, but you know what? That's how it is. That's just life. You have one year that's great, and then one year that's not so great. But there's blessings in the not so great years. You have to remember trials and tribulations, patience, such a big deal. But really fantastic thing took place on February 2nd, uh, other than Groundhog's Day. Something that was such a blessing to our family, and that is my husband got baptized. His faith in Christ, he's always been there. But when you know that you want to be one in Christ, it's a totally different thing. It's amazing. So we went to Kansas, to visit my daughter and her familia, which was always fun. It's just funny because the temperatures are like 40 and they're all in the hot tub. So being from Texas, that's hard for me, but it's comfortable. My husband enjoys it very much. I'm just like, no, I'll just sit in the corner by the heater. But anyway, and it was a great visit. There was still snow on the ground, and they had their snow 3 weeks ago. And it was cold enough that they still had mounds of snow on their grass and stuff. But anyway, my husband's faith, it was Christ has always been there. But when you know you want to be one in Christ, it is another thing. I don't know if you've ever experienced it. I don't know what it is. So we went to visit, and we loved attending her church, Westside Family Church in Lenexa. Um, well, when you know, you just know. So we have both been baptized as children, but when you're an adult and understand more about life with Christ, it opens up your mind. It opens up your mind. Um, it opens up your heart. It opens up your view of seeing things. It is totally amazing. So we go, and my husband knew. He had thought about it when we went in this January. It doesn't matter. Whenever we went, and he thought about it. But it was December. But anyway, so we had thought about it, but he says, I'm not sure. So on our drive up there, we talked about it, and he'd already made the decision. He knew he was ready to get baptized, which is amazing. So driving up to the church, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this on the podcast. I said, I'm so proud of you to do this. I'm so happy for you. And he says, I just hope I'm worthy. And I told him, yes, you're worthy. Everyone is worthy of receiving Christ. So we go for the church service, and it was lovely. It was just an amazing service. They got a new pastor, Pastor Henson, and it was just amazing. So afterwards, it's time. So they give you a T-shirt, and he goes to change, and it was just an amazing thing. Like I said, it helps you understand about life with Christ. It opens your mind. It's just another world. How you see God, and He is so good each and every day. Like I said, go find your blessings because they are around us each and every day. So, the interesting thing is, the lead pastor there that, uh, excuse me, is Randy Frazee, and he is if he hears there's a family from Texas there, so he comes down there, and it's they just they make such a celebration of a baptism there. Have a bell ring after everybody applauds. Everybody's honestly, lots of people cry knowing that someone's giving their life to Christ. But it is just pretty amazing. But afterwards, my husband's dried off, or beforehand, I don't remember. So the Deacon Mike, that baptized my husband, we found out that he's a police officer. Now, what are the odds? Because my husband's retired police officer, that a police officer baptized my husband. It was one of those great moments. One moment I will never forget, and neither will he. And yes, I'm crying. Hello. Anyway, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. These are tears of joy. So, anyway, next week, excuse me, we're going to be. My podcast is "We're Having a Baby," and this podcast was requested by one of my Ticket to Life listeners, or a couple of them, and they're about to have a baby, and I hope that it can help. And if you or anyone is thinking about having a baby or thinking of starting a family, um, please have them listen, or please listen to Ticket to Life next week. Tell your friends, and hopefully I can help with my thoughts and opinions, because that's all they wanted to know. They're going to have a baby, and they asked for some ideas of what to do because they don't know what to expect. Um, and they said they wanted a friendly voice, which I thought was very kind of them to say. But anyway, so please tune in next week for Ticket to Life on having a baby. Um, there's a story that I read. I don't watch the news. I think I've mentioned that, but get I get news feeds like important things around the area. But um, having a baby to me is such a blessing. And I just read where a couple in Garland, Texas went to a fire station and took their baby to leave there at the fire station. And that here in Texas, and I think some other states have it, it's called Moses Law. And the paramedics checked baby and the mom and took them to the hospital and found that the newborn baby and the mom were healthy and they were fine. Now, many would say, how could they do this? And I know it was a hard thing for them to do, but they cared enough about their newborn baby to take this baby to the fire station and hopefully praying for that baby to have a better life than what they could give this child. And a lot of people say, I could never do that. But yet some people have babies and don't take care of them. So again, I think this was a hard thing for them to do, but they cared enough that they knew they couldn't have the baby in their life right now, or give him or her a life they would want to give a child. So God bless them, and God bless that sweet baby. And I know that was a hard decision. So That is one thing when you become a new parent, I will have to admit, it is patience. Patience is definitely something we have to work on in our life. It can get us through some tough times, and it can get us through so many different uh, trials. It's just something else. But anyway, please, if you do know anyone that's going to have a baby and you think, oh, you might like this podcast. Anyway, they can hear it on the radio. They can hear it on any of the platforms. So it's called We're Having a Baby, My Baby and Me. So anyway, hopefully you will enjoy that. And I think it is time to say our farewells for the week. It is funny. I did realize a couple of weeks ago I started a podcast with, excuse me, and I said greetings. I thought I know that's a way to greet people, but I just think of maybe it was the time when I grew up. People saying greetings, welcome to our planet. That's how the UFO shows would start back in the '60s. Greetings. So I don't think I'll be using greetings anymore. I just maybe in a letter, but I'm not sure anything else. But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this podcast of patience. I hope that it has been helpful to you. I hope that it helps you further and better yourself with patience because I know I need it. There are certain days that we just lose patience. That's when you take that deep breath. Um, I hope that if you didn't hear "I Love You Too Much," that was last week or a couple week ago podcast. Um, I make so many podcasts; they just kind of blend in. Make sure to listen to that because that was I got like lots of people listen to that one, and so apparently I had something good to say in it. It's just I don't know, but anyway, that was "I Love You Too Much" podcast. Anyway, I think again it is time for us to say farewell. I want you to have a great week. Be kind, love each other, and be patient. I will be praying for you, and I hope that you are blessed above and beyond this week. So, this is Henry, and please, please, please don't forget to find your blessings. Like I said, blessings can be right in front of us, and we don't even see them. I'm looking at a wall, but on this wall, I have pictures of my family. Those are my blessings each and every day. So, again, until next week, this is Henry. Please be safe and be kind.